David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review. Today, I have for you a pen with a unique combination of materials. That pen is from the company Xezo, and the pen is called the Maestro 925. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of the Maestro 925, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for about it. I'll show some measurements, some size comparisons, and provide a writing sample. Thanks go out to the good folks at Xezo for providing this pen for review. It's been a while, but I have reviewed a couple of Xezo pens in the past. They are a company based near Houston, Texas. They manufacture and sell a number of items, such as like watches and eyewear and leather goods, as well as writing instruments. For their pens, parts are produced in several areas of the world, but the assembly is done here in the United States. Now, the name of the company is unique, Xezo, which is X-E-Z-O. I had asked about the origins of the names and was told that it didn't have any particular meaning or reference. There's nothing wrong with that. I just thought with a unique name like Xezo that there would be an interesting story behind it. The pen arrives in this box, which has a rather unique design. It opens from the middle, which I think is rather cool. Inside, we have a silver polishing cloth, which, as you will see in the near future, is important to the pen I have for you today. There is some documentation as well as a certificate of authenticity. There is also this cool little sliding box, which contains some ink cartridges as well as a converter. And then here we have the pen. This is the Xezo Maestro 925. Now, the official full name that you'll see on the Xezo site is the Maestro 925 White MOP-FM. The White MOP stands for White Mother of Pearl. This pen has a unique combination of materials. The cap is garnished with white mother of pearl, and then the barrel is guillocheed sterling silver. It makes for an interesting look. Let's start by taking a look at the cap. The end is rounded. I believe this black portion here is resin. The finial below that is somewhat similar in style to what you'll find on some Pelican pens, but there's a lot of text going on here. On one level, it says limited edition. Then on the lower level on one side, it has the company name of Xezo, and then as it wraps around, it says Maestro 18 karat gold plated. Then it has the number of this pen and the year it was produced. In the case of this specific pen, it says 2020. On a side note, Happy Chinese New Year to everyone. The year of the rat is behind us, and we are now in the year of the ox. Something interesting, every 60 years, when the 12-year animal cycle completes 5 cycles, it's called the year of Genji. This is considered to be a year of difficulty, with both natural and man-made disasters. That year of Genji happened to occur in this past year of the rat. And while I personally don't buy into any astrological beliefs, I will say that the year of the rat was certainly a year of difficulty and hardship for the world as a whole. Here's to hoping the year of the ox is much kinder to us. The clip is slightly bowed and a bit on the thicker side, but it's functional. Now, let's talk about this cap here. It is inlaid with panels of saltwater white mother of pearl. It's a rather nice material. Since it's natural material, then every pen will be slightly different. But I like how the material glistens and shines as it reflects the light. They also offer a version of this pen with black mother of pearl. And then there's another model inlaid with what is described as seashell. I think all 3 versions look pretty sharp. At the end of the cap, there is a band with a golden leaf pattern. As the finial explained, the trim on this pen is plated in 18 karat gold. Then there is a small step down to another gold-plated band, and that transitions into the barrel, which is guillocheed sterling silver. Something that I really like about this pattern is that, from what I can tell, I'm thinking it was done by hand. The pattern is slightly different for each line, and the intervals of waves slightly vary. I like that it doesn't have a uniform machined look to it. It's a nice touch. The barrel is straight for about 1.5 inches, and then it tapers down, and then on the end we have a gold piece which is flat. The cap unscrews in a single rotation, and underneath we have this 2-tone stainless steel nib. These nibs are manufactured by Jowo. There are a couple of things that I like about them. I like that they are stamped with the company name rather than laser engraved. And then I also like the stars. Typically, Jowo nibs will have the same scroll work around the outer edge, but these nibs have been customized with these stars. I like seeing something a little bit different like that. And here's a look at the plastic feed. The section is very slightly concave and made with a palladium-plated metal. Now, I am not a fan of slick metal sections, and at first glance, I feared that this section would fall into that demonic category. While it is rather smooth, I haven't experienced any issues with my grip sliding around, so I find it to be decent enough. There is a medium-sized step up to the barrel, and I don't find that transition to be sharp or uncomfortable if your grip should happen to rest on it. I also like the feeling of the guilloche texture on my hand as I'm using the pen. It's an added tactile experience. The cap does, I'll say, somewhat post. It doesn't feel like it's especially secure on here, but there is a lot of metal in this cap, so I do find that the weight throws off the balance of the pen and backweights it, so I prefer to use this pen unposted. This is a cartridge converter pen. It accepts standard international cartridges, and a converter is provided. With the metal parts of this section and barrel, eyedropping this pen would not be advised. The Xezo Maestro 925 retails for $295 and can be found directly from the Xezo site. I'll put a link to where you can see it in the notes below. The previous pens that I reviewed from Xezo were in the $130 to $160 range, but this pen reflects a step up in materials from those models, and I feel the combination of the materials is an interesting one. Pens which are like 100% mother of pearl have been hit or miss from me, and the same could be said for pens which are completely silver. There's nothing inherently wrong with either of them in my opinion, they just don't necessarily align especially well with my personal tastes, for the most part. There was the Conklin Abalone pen I reviewed recently, and I really did care for that treatment, and that one covered the entire pen. But having this 50-50 look works, in my opinion. And I think it works better than if it was a silver cap and a mother of pearl barrel. So I think this was a good design choice. Thanks again. Go out to Xezo for providing this pen for review. Now it is time for some measurements, size comparisons, and a writing sample. Here we go with the size comparison for the Xezo Maestro 925. In comparison to a different Xezo model, this one is an original Maestro pen. This is the Conklin Endura that has the Abalone that I reviewed a few weeks back. And then we have a pen that I'm going to be reviewing here in the near future, which is the Visconti Voyager 2020. And I think the material on here is very cool. So I look forward to getting a closer look at that one. Then in regard to some other pens, here it is with a Montegrappa Elmo. Here it is with a Montblanc 146. And then finally, a pen that I was going to review that unfortunately I'm probably not going to be able to review. It was from a pen company by the name of Denoble, and this is what it looks like. And unfortunately, Denoble had to shut their doors here unexpectedly. They are in the country of Moldova, and apparently there are some things going on there that have caused them to close up shop. So at a later point in time, if they open back up again, then I might review this pen because it is very nice, but right now you can't even purchase pens from their site. And that is what it looks like. It looks very similar to a Sailor King of Pen in Ebonite. That's kind of the look that it has about it. In regard to some uncapped comparisons, here it is with the Conklin Endura, and here it is with that Montegrappa Elmo, and here it is with the Montblanc 146. Here we go with the writing sample for the Xezo Maestro. 925. 925 MOP for the mother of pearl. This is a medium stainless steel nib, and the ink that I'm using today here is from Ferris Wheel Press. And is their Royal Rhubarb. This is what the ink looks like. I kind of say that it's a nice kind of reddish purple. This is what it looks like with Califolio Antranopal, as well as Pilot Aroshizuku Yamabudo. This is what the 38 milliliter bottles for Ferris Wheel Press look like. I kind of prefer their larger bottles just because when you use this one, it is rather narrow and it seems a little tenuous whenever I am inking a pen from here. So while I haven't toppled one over yet, I always have the fear that I might. So I'm always having to be very careful with that. But it's a very nice ink. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. I do like this ink a lot. I really like the shade of it. This medium Yovo nib, you can get a decent amount of line variation out of here by adding a little bit of pressure. The ink flow is very good out of here. This is a fairly wet ink. In regard to reverse writing, it's a little sharp, but it does lay down an extra fine line. In regard to some fast writing, the feed has no problems in keeping up. So here we have the Xezo Maestro 925 Mother of Pearl. As I mentioned a couple of times, I think it's a unique combination of material that works for this pen. So I think it's something worth taking a closer look at. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.